it's Lindsay. Welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today is Saturday the 14th of June and this is Flosstube number 60. We've reached number 60. It's been about a month since I last recorded, which is a little bit longer than I would have liked, although sitting down today I did think it was a bit longer than that, to be honest. But there have been lots of things going on in between. We've had half term and I went away to Lisbon for a few days with my mum and my sister. I've had to do some switching around at work because Bella has some transition activities at her new school, and my mum went in for a day surgery last week, and then she stayed with us for a few days. So yeah, things have been pretty busy at home, and so I haven't had the opportunity to film before today. And you will have noticed that I'm in a bit of a different position today, and that's because I have been clearing out my craft room, tidying it up and rearranging. So I decided that I wanted my desk on the other side of the room, just because it has this pull out bit down here where I put my Cricut or my big cutting board, and I felt like when it was this side it was pulling out this way and sort of cutting off half of the room. So I figured over here, if I had this out, then it would be against the radiator and it wouldn't cause any issues. And I just felt like having a bit of a change around, to be honest. It does mean, sitting down this morning, that when I film that my floss boxes are sort of above my head at a bit of a weird angle, but that's just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to live with that, basically. And all of my cross stitch is now behind me and over here, so I might have a little bit of a switch around and put some of my cross stitch here rather than photos, so you can see some in the background. So yeah, the reason I've been rearranging my craft room is for a couple of different reasons. Number one, my stock has grown for my website over the last year or so, and the way I want to present my stock at retreats has changed very recently, and I've been sorting that stuff out. And I needed a storage solution for my floss, for example, for my stock floss when I'm at home. And so I think I found that now. I'm going to put some rails in my cupboard over here, and hang those up there, because I bought a couple of rails for, like, rails on wheels for retreats with hangers, and that's where my floss is going to go for retreats. So I've had to do some rearranging for that, and also I had a load of knitting and crochet stuff in here in boxes and it was just all over the place. So I decided that some of that needs to go back up in the loft again, and I've got one knitting project out and one crochet project out. Maybe I'll show you those at the end. Because yeah, this room is already filled with shop stock and cross stitch stuff. I just don't have room for my crochet and my knitting as well, or for all of my projects to be out at once, basically. So there we go. So hopefully this weekend we're going to get the rails up in the cupboard. I've got the last hangers coming in the next week or so, and then all of my floss will be hung up. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it being a bit more back to normality in here. Yeah, because this room is right opposite the front door as well, so sort of you walk in the front door and you can sort of see the mess that's in my room already. I mean, yeah, it looks 100% better than what it did, but it still needs some work. Anyway, that's why I'm at a bit of a different angle today. But I do have lots of things to talk to you about today. I've got a pile of whips here. I've got a little bit of haul, and some plans moving forward. Yeah, so we're just going to get into it. I don't have... I'm not going to do these in any particular order. I had to buy a new tablet because... look what I did to it. You see that massive crack? Does it go around this way? Oh no, it goes around this way. So what happened was, I normally charge my tablet in the kitchen because some of the kitchen sockets have USB plugs in them, and this was charging on the side. And one evening I decided that I wanted a crumpet. I don't know, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I took a plate out of the cupboard and the plate slipped out of my hand and cracked my tablet. So I had to buy a new one. I did want to get the screen replaced on this because there's nothing else wrong with it. But when I inquired about getting the screen replaced, I was quoted £75. And to get a new tablet was between 80 and 120. And I just thought, I might as well buy a new tablet. Like, it really annoys me when stuff like that happens. Like, for example, Bella was sick a couple of months ago and I had to take her duvet cover to the dry cleaners. And we bought her a new one in the meantime because we thought it'd be better for her to have a spare, and plus she had nothing on her bed. For me to have her duvet dry cleaned was £25. And for me to buy her a new duvet set was 17. Again, I just think that's ludicrous. We live in such a throwaway nation. You're just adding to that problem. But there we go. So anyway, I bought a new tablet. I bought a case for the tablet this time, and I am going to get a charging station for in here. Maybe I'll put a picture of what that looks like up here. You can buy them on Amazon. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. And basically it's got slots for each of your devices, and then the wire, and then the charging station plugs into the wall. Yeah, and so I just thought, right, well, if it's in here, I've got no hope of dropping a plate on it again. So I bought the same style of tablet. So this is another the Novo tablet, and it's a M1, I think. Again, I'll leave a link to it down below. I bought this one from Curry's. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave a link to it down below. And the case was from Amazon. So yeah, I just thought, right, well, now I don't have to worry about it getting cranked anymore. So let's have a little look. I'm just opening my spreadsheet. Okay, so what I've been doing over the last few weeks is actually working my way through some of my older whips and trying to put in 1,000 stitches on them. And a lot of these whips I didn't touch at all in 2024. They do have goals on them, but I feel really good about the fact that I've just touched them this year. So living in this bag that I made recently at my sewing class is Forever and Ever. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I am stitching this with Vicky from the Virginia Stitcher. I'm stitching it on, I think it's 32 count pearl grey. I think it's linen, or is it even weave? No, it's even weave from Zweigart, and I'm using all the called for Wheats Dye Works. So I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of where you saw it the last time. Maybe I'll move over a little bit this way. It's stinking hot today, by the way. Like, we're having the really hot weather in June at the moment. It's not sunny at the moment. It's muggy because it rained overnight and we sort of had yellow warnings for thunderstorms and stuff. So yeah, so it is very hot. I've got the window open, but it's making zero difference. So yeah, I put that picture up on the screen, and then I did 1,815 stitches over a couple of days, and this is where we got to. So I managed to bring down this branch, stitch the little house and the word love, and that's where I wanted to get to at that particular point. Yeah, so it's looking really good. I don't normally hold it up this side, I hold it up the other side. I'm all a all fingers and thumbs. But yeah, I think it looks really good, and I love the little house. Yeah. I'm running out of a few of the greens, and although it doesn't, cottage garden samplings, they're normally really good at telling you whether you need more than one of a scheme depending on what count you're stitching on. But it doesn't say that on this pattern, but I am going to need some more of the greens because I'm not gonna have enough of those to finish the project. So that's something to be aware of if you're stitching on 28 count or 32 count with 2 strands. When I work out which greens I need 2 of, I'll let you know. Right, where am I going to put stuff? Oh, I've got that caught in the zip. Oh no. There we go. In my haste, put that up there. Oh, wow. Right, next up. Oh, I had a new start. When I went to Lisbon, I took some stitching with me to do on the plane, basically. I didn't do any while I was actually in Lisbon. We're far too busy. And actually, I read quite a bit on my Kindle, which was great because, again, don't get to do that a lot at home. But I kitted this one up recently and I had a hankering to start it, basically, so I did. So this is Geranium and it's by Nora Corbett. And I saw a lovely lady on my table finish this when I went to the Mirabilia retreat in April. So I decided that I was going to get it, and I bought a piece of 28 count lilac ice. Thank you for those of you that told me that this is a fancy eye. After a couple of people said it, I was like, oh, of course. So yeah, 28 count lilac ice from Kate at Sparkly's. I did, let's have a little look. 1,206 stitches on this, and I don't know the percentage on it. So I'm stitching this in Royal Broidery threads and then the called for fancy flosses. So like these are the Krynics that you need, and then I've also got the beads as well for afterwards. So these are the colours that I've used so far, and I made some Geranium floss drops, which I think are lovely. So yeah, look at this colour palette so far. It's so lovely. I really enjoyed working on this. So which way round does it go? Oh, it'll go this way because I always leave that at the top. So yeah, this is where I got up to. So I have started to put in some of the Krynic, but where it's completely surrounded by other stitches or there's nothing to go. Yeah. So this is, I started in the middle. So we've got like this bit of her wing, this bit of her sleeve, and then I've started to work on the top bit of the wing. Yeah. We've got a few gaps that are for beads. But it's just completely gorgeous. So, and I love it on this fabric. I think it's going to be amazing. The colour's not too bad. It's probably a little bit darker than that. Yeah. The window's over here now, so I don't know if that's going to make a difference to the lighting. I only tend to use natural light. The window's open and the blind has blown the picture off of the windowsill. Sorry. Sorry if that made you jump. Yeah, so I started that. Loving working on that one. Okay. This is one of my full coverages. Just make sure I can get percentages up. Here we go. So this one is Winter Montage. This is by Janet Stever, the artwork, and it's charted by Pain Free Crafts. And I put in 1,000, oh no, hold on. 1,147 stitches on this. I'm stitching this on 25 count even weave 1/1 full cross, and I'm at 4.28%. So I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it, which I don't know whether I worked on this last year. I think I might have done early on. Oh, it's the wrong way around. So this is where I got up to. So just started, I finished a page the last time I worked on this, so I started to work on this page here. We can see the third leaf being finished off and the fourth leaf coming in. Yeah. So this is using DMC. But whether it's better for me to show it on this side or not, I'm not sure. And what I've been doing, I think I mentioned this in my last video, is with my full coverages, I've been making them portable. So I've got these floss drops that don't have full skeins on or anything, but they have a few threads of each colour. And these are my winter floss drops. There you go. And so basically it means that if I want to take this project out and about, I don't have to take my whole like floss box with me. I can just take this and then use what I need off of here and then perhaps refill it when I get home. Yeah, I wanted all of my projects to be portable. So that's what I've been working on. Each time I've pulled out one of these full coverages, I've been making sure that I've got enough floss drops, and that they have the appropriate floss on them. That's Winter Montage. This one is, let's have a little look. This is Wanderlust. It's by Ratika Aurora, and it's charted by me. But this is no longer available in my shop. I retired this artist a few months ago. So again, 25 count, 1/1 full cross, DMC. I've got my floss drops here. And I did 1,232 stitches on this, and it's at 3.93%. So I put a picture up here of the last time that you saw it. And I continued on with the flowers at the top. This is quite confetti heavy at the beginning. There's a lot of confetti going on, but I did enjoy working on it. Once I got into it, once I'd done like the first 200 or 300 stitches, you kind of get into the rhythm of it. So yeah, that's that one. I didn't work on this at all last year, so it's good to get that out. Okay, this one I worked on over the last few days. I don't know if have I put, oh, you have, yeah. So this is the Shire Painting. This is by an Etsy shop called Thread of Magic, although they're not on there anymore. I stitched 1,245 stitches on this, and I'm at 4.40%. I'll put a picture up on the screen of where you saw it last. Again, I don't think I worked on this last year. I could be wrong. This is stitched in DMC, again 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And this is where we got to. I'm still up in that corner working on the branches of that tree. There's lots of block stitching in this one though, so it goes quickly. Yeah. So that's that. Okay, next up, definitely didn't work on this last year. This is a bag that I bought from Pauline at Sobe Bags. Where are you? Here we go. This one is Dark Cinderella. The artwork's by Barrett Biggers and it's charted by Pain Free Crafts. I did 1,316 stitches and I'm at 1.48%. I'll put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. It's a big piece of material, this is. Okay, getting there in the end, and that's where I got to this time around. So I finished this flower off and then I continued on in those sort of coloured swirls in the background. I had at one point thought that I might DNF this. DNF? No, that's a booktube term. UFO, there we go, UFO it. I don't think I will. I think I just thought that because I hadn't worked on it as a haul last year. And I've said this before, like the further you get away from a project, the less motivated I feel like I am to work on it. So that's why, yeah, try to get it out, work on it. But this is just a consequence of having too many whips, basically. So yeah, that one. So I've got quite a few to go. I worked on quite a few things over the last month. I'm really proud of, yeah, how I've been managing to pick things up. So this one, just making sure I can show you things on my tablet. This is Christmas birds or festive birds. It's by Owl Forest Embroidery. And I picked this up and worked on it for 2,618 stitches and it's at 57.84%. And I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of the last time that you saw it. Again, I don't think I worked on it at all last year, but I managed to finish, I think, the second page. So this is what it's looking like now. Take this out of the way. So I finished off this big snowflake. I think I did this basket of apples, and they are the two birds, this little bird table, and then this motif down here. And then I came down and I started working, I think the Christmas tree was already there, pretty sure it was. I started working on this little floral motif. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. Really happy with how that's going. Once you get into a rhythm with it, it's so easy to work on. This is 32 count summer khaki linen, and I don't like working on linen a lot now, so that's one thing I don't like about it, but again, once I'm in the rhythm, it's fine. So, and I am using DMC for this, so I have all the colours here. There's only a few colours, 9, there are 9 colours, and these are my Christmas floss drops. Yeah. this was one that I had down to finish this year. I don't know if that's going to happen because I haven't really stuck to any of those plans that I made. Oh. Right, let's have a little drink. Yeah, that motorbike in the background. Right, this one is Supersize Max Colour Santa's Workshop. The artwork is by Thomas Kincaid and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Design. I did 1009 stitches on this and I'm at 2.73%, and last year I finished off the top row of the top row going across, and so therefore I've started working down on the right hand side. That's the best way of showing you this. Again, this piece of material is ridiculously big. Yeah, so yeah, this is the bit that I've worked on here. This was a lot of block stitching, like it was basically all 310 with some other colours interspersed in, and then I'm starting to reach a little shelf here, I think. Yeah, I can't remember. Let me just look at the mock-up. Oh, it's like the shelf before the window, so I am going to hit the little window here the next time I work on it. So yeah, that's where I got to. And this is the whole of it. So yeah, I don't even know if you're, there you go. It's so wide. Oh dear. So yeah, that took me a day to do that. I think it was a weekend day, but still, like, because it was so much 310, it was just really easy to work on. Sometimes I get a bit bored with block stitching, but that's why I like max colour charts, because I'm not always a fan of block stitching, but I think the further you get into a chart, the more enjoyable things are anyway. Okay, I'm not showing that yet. Right, this is my Extraordinary Birds stitch along, and I'm keeping this in a bag that my friend Becky made for my daughter. It's like a busy bag for her, like for when she goes on car journeys, but she's not using it at the moment. And I thought, right, well, I'm going to keep a project in there and then she can have it for the car when she needs it. And because she incorporated my Florence into the bag. So I finished this last year and it just looks so fabulous. So you use this really lovely fabric. Look at this lovely rainbow zip. And then this lovely cat on it. And then the inside, I believe this is Tula Pink owl fabric. Oh, she did such a good job. So I thought it was just a waste for it to be lying around in between. So this is the Extraordinary Birds stitch along by Lola Crow. I've only got a picture of the frame, but I'm going to show you it caught up until now anyway. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I'm using the called for DMC but in raw embroidery. So these are all of the colours, and I made my own bird floss drops with some of the birds that are in the project. And we had, last Friday we had feet 4 released. So I think the last time I showed this to you I'd done up to feet 2. No, that's not true actually. I might have done just feet 1. I'll put a picture up here of where you saw it last. I don't remember what I'd done and what I hadn't. But this is what it's looking like now. And we've had, like I said, the first 4 feets. So the one that we've just had is this cassowary. I mean, he looks amazing. Feat number 3 was a series of poisonous bears, which I didn't even know poisonous bears existed. It's brilliant. So these red ones, this one here, this one here, this one here, and then this is a poisonous butterfly and some poisonous flowers. Again, in the index she tells you what everything's called, she gives you information on it. It's brilliant. This is a something spoonbill. I wonder if I can look it up. Let's have a look. So PDFs, whips, extraordinary birds, index. Oh, it's called a Eurasian spoonbill. And then this is a blue-footed booby and a vampire finch. And then this flower, I think, is called a bird of paradise. You've got the cassowary's eggs down here. It just looks amazing, the detail on it. And there is some backstitch, but it's not extensive backstitch. And I think what she does really brings out the different elements. So yeah, and look at I've noticed like the shadowing in the water. Yeah. So yeah, this is what it's looking like in its entirety. There are 14 feats in total, I think. This week we've had a rest week, so there wasn't a release yesterday. And there's another rest week, like I think week 9 or 10 is a rest week. And each week is between like 750 and 1,000 stitches, like that kind of idea. So I normally pull this out on a Saturday or a Sunday and do the stitches for that particular week, and that's worked out really well so far. Like, I'm not great at keeping up on stitch alongs, you guys know that, but I've been really motivated with this one. So yeah. Right, that's that. I don't know how many stitches I did in total over the last few weeks, but the project in total at the moment is 9,865 stitches. So 4 feats, and then you've got another 10 to go. Okay. 3 more projects to show you. Well, one is a new start today, so that's slightly different, but this next one is Autumn Montage. Again, it's by Janet Stever and charted by Painfree Crafts. And for this one, I worked on it for 1,028 stitches, and it's at 4.04%. And I'll put a picture up here of where it was the last time that you saw it. And this is where it's at now. So I think, did I get a page finish, or had I already finished that page? I don't remember. But anyway, I was working on, I think this is already done. I was working on the second page. And that's where we got to. So yeah, happy with that. Okay, and then before I show you the new start, this is my baby. Living in this bag here is super size max colour the stitching shelf. The artwork is by Amy Stewart. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know how many stitches I've done over the last few weeks, but right now I'm on 209,268 stitches, and it's 29.34%. And the big news with this one is that I have finished the shelf. So yeah, I think it was last Monday, I had a string of days where I was like, I'm so close, I'm just going to do it. And so I did it. So I'm going to take it off of its frame, so I can show you it in its entirety. Okay, I'm going to have to stand up to show you. Go back, there we go. Okay, so can I put the chair back any further? This is it done. I think let me move the chair out of the way. Go back a little bit further. There we go. So I did put a picture of this up on Instagram, but I'm so happy, so happy. It's done. So I'll just give you an overview. So this was the beginning. There we go. And then this was about the middle point. Moving on a little bit. A little bit more. And then this is what I finished off. These were partial pages at the end. Yeah. And then I have started working on the second shelf. So there's a lot of green on the second shelf. So I just started off the page here. So yeah. Oh, much there. Oh, I am so super pleased. It was my goal to get the shelf done this year, and I've managed that. I started this, I think, on the 15th of August 2022. So it took me about 2 years and 9 months to finish the first shelf, and I've done a combination of 100 stitches a day. I've had a monogamous month for the last 3 years. So this month I did this year I did February, last year I did June, the year before that I did May, and then I've had pockets where I've used it for challenges or just felt like working on it for an extended period of time. So that kind of gives you an idea of, yeah. Stitch Pal was telling me that I'm working on it for an average of 210 stitches a day at the moment because of the sort of bigger periods that I've had, and it's telling me my projected finish date is, oh come on, I pressed the wrong button. Let's just get rid of that and go back into it. The 4th of January 2032. So we've got another 6.5 years of working on it, which, yeah. See, 2.5 times 4 is 10, but that first shelf was like 29.10% because it's 2 pages down, and I've gone beyond, like I finished off the thread down here basically and finished off the 10 by 10 square. So when you get further down the pattern, like this bottom shelf, for example, well, I would have already stitched part of that when I do, and I'm already going to stitch part of the autumn shelf when I do the next 2 pages down. So 2.5 years to do, if we round it up to 30%, yeah, it probably is about that much, isn't it? So yeah. So another 2.5, another 5 years to do up to 90%. And then, yeah, a 1.5 years to do the last 10%. That sounds about right to me. I'll probably knock some time off of that again, but yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Oh dear. Yeah. I'd like to give you a glimpse of what it looks like on the back. But nobody cares about that, right? And that's 25 count 1/1 full cross. All of my full coverages are that I've showed you so far. This is DMC. So let's put that back in there. Put all these bits in here. I'll put that back on the frame tomorrow. There we go. Okay, and then today I've started a new project today. I'm not going to tell you how many stitches I've done. I've only done 3 lengths of thread, but with my friend Amanda, we're stitching Japanese geishas, and this is by Milana Art Designs on Etsy. But both of us are doing it without the background, so I'm not stitching all of this stuff in between. So I had ordered a piece of 25 count bone from Zweigart, but just before I started it, yesterday I thought I've probably got some hand dyed fabric that might be good for this, and I pulled out this piece of 28 count even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. It might have been a fabric of the month. Does it say that? No, it doesn't say that. Sometimes she puts that on there. But yeah, I've just started the first of the geisha's heads. So I'm doing it 1/1 full cross, which I'm not used to doing that on 28 count, but I figured I'd give it a go, and it's not too bad so far. It's not too dissimilar from 25 count. And this is raw embroidery threads. So yeah, I think it's going to look good on that. And I made myself some floss drops. These are the floss drops that I made. So yeah. So I'm going to be working on that today over the next couple of days, hoping to get 1,000 stitches in. And I'll let you know how that goes over the next little while. Put that down there, so I'll be working on that. Right, a little drink. Wow, it is sweaty. Okay, I can get rid of this now. So I do have some haul in my trusty box. I'm just going to pull from what I've got. This is the May 2025 fabric of the month from Kate at Fabrics by Crafty Kate. You can see it's got some green in there. I'm not going to pull it out of the packet. Maybe like a mermaid on here. It's quite a nice colour. The Year in the Woods 2 series has started from Cottage Garden Samplings, and I asked Mary at Create Nostalgia whether I could do an auto ship with her, including the speciality threads, and she said yes. So this is the wolf, it's the first chart. There have been teasers about some of the other ones so far, and I really like the other series, so I just thought I'd get these. And then you need 2 skeins of the trail dust. There's just one speciality thread in this one. So yeah, this is Trail Dust by Classic Colourworks. I love the way they twirl them now. So I'm going to keep that in there. Yeah, there we go. This was a vintage purchase. Let's take it out of here. This is the Here Comes Santa tree skirt. I have never seen a tree skirt being sold on anywhere in the UK, like on the UK second-hand market. So it came up on Vinted and I got it for a really good price. And Dimensions do lots of different tree skirts. This was one of my favourites anyway. So yeah, it comes with a massive piece of 11 count navy Ada, all the threads. There is a needle in there somewhere. Oh yeah, you can see it here, look. So I'll have to sort all of those threads out. And you can see that this lady, and she said actually in the post that she bought it from America. She bought it from Michael's for $50 originally. So yeah, I am super pleased to have that. I showed it to Bella and she said, oh, you've got to stitch that, but then she says that about everything that I buy, so one thing at a time. Yeah, so I got that. I also got this kit from Vinted. I've been looking at these Dreamcatcher kits for a while. This is Fragile Miracles by Designworks. I do love a Dreamcatcher, and my sister loves Dreamcatchers as well. She had one in her room growing up. So this says, never stop dreaming, for out of such fragile things come miracles. Yeah. So this comes with 14 count white Ada and then the threads, but the threads are on cards, which is great. So that's that. I won a competition on Instagram. This isn't cross stitch, but it's diamond painting for one of these Crystal Art Wildlife Buddies. This is the turtle. And I had wanted to get some of the animals anyway, so I was super pumped to win. So I will be doing him at some point. This is a bookmark kit, again I bought off of the second-hand marketplace. This is the Buddha one. It's not both of them, it's this one here. So it's, yeah, it's a little kit. Comes with, does it say what count fabric it comes? It looks like 14 count. DMC threads. Yeah. And then I have some patterns. Oh, and one more piece of fabric. So this is the fabric of the month for May from Megan, I think. Yeah, at Coffee Craft Fabric, I think it was May. It's a little bit less dark in real life. That's quite a nice colour though. I've never seen anything like that before. And then I bought some patterns. Got a little bit wiggly in my box, but there we go. First of all, the Cross Stitch Studio were having a sale. I think it was in April. So I bought one pattern from my wish list. Just try and unfold these. Lay them flat a little bit. This is Christmas Cupcake. It's a no background. I think it's no background anyway. I haven't tried the size of it. I don't know. I think it's no background. Anyway, yeah, Christmas Cupcake. I can't remember who the artwork is by, and she doesn't put that on the front, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people stitching this on Instagram and I think it looks amazing. So yeah, get some nice coloured fabric. Have a look through my 28 count stash actually and see if I've got anything suitable and have a go at stitching that up. And then these are all Russian or Ukrainian patterns. Oh, I haven't written the name down on that one. I'll have to look that one up in a second. This is Winter Unicorn, I think. Again, I don't have the name of the designer because it's all in Russian. But anyway, I bought the Spring Unicorn a while ago. So she's got the winter one out now. And she sent me a voucher for like certain percentage off for my birthday, and so I thought, oh well, I've got to get that one then. She has the autumn one out, she's working on the summer one, so I want to buy the autumn one soon and then wait for the summer one. God, what's this one called? I've got it in my drive. Oh, hold on, Stefan's been ringing me. 1 second. Okay, and we're back. This next one, I know the name of it, but I can't pronounce the name of the designer, but I will leave a link to everything down below. This one is called Village Path. You can see the designer's little logo here. She does have her own website that you can order from. Laura from I Stitch Bird, well, she showed me the next couple of these. Showed me this one a while ago, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to get that. There's that one. This one is called Deep in Thoughts. It's by Nadia Nagorna. Had to buy this. Love anything oriental. And that's going to look fabulous on some hand-dyed fabric. And then this one is called Grace of the East. This is what it is. I'm going to stitch this on a piece of black fabric because it's full coverage, but it will look good against a dark fabric to frame it. I mean, that is just amazing. So stunning. And then the designer sent me this as a free gift. This is called Apple Blossom. That's really beautiful as well. So I got that one. So those are all of my purchases. I was actually saying to my friend the other day that I feel like I've been really good with pattern purchasing this year, and where I've been transferring all of my patterns, all of my kitting up info onto my iPad. There are hardly any for this year compared to previous years. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So plans moving forward, I've started obviously Japanese geishas today. I'm going to work on that, I think, for the next couple of days. I'm going to keep up with my Extraordinary Bird stitch along. And then the next few in the list, whip-wise, to work on, Little Ocean, Moon Hair, Christmas Village Afghan, and Summer Sampler. They're like the next 4 to work on. And then Summer Montage. So they might be some whips that you see coming up. I want to make sure that I've worked on all of my whips. And as of the beginning of May, I always put like a stats thing up on my Instagram now. And out of the projects that I started the year with, so I'm not including any new starts in this, I've worked on 32 out of 62 projects that I had at the beginning of the year. So we're more than halfway through the projects that I already had at the beginning of the year, which is really good. So yeah, those are my plans. I want to continue working through whips that I haven't worked on this year. I still have all of those things that I need to start, although I'm not going to be super strict about starting them. Like, I'm not super strict about those plans that I had. I've obviously dropped those, but it doesn't matter. I'm in the middle of just finishing off digitalising the Christmas Village Afghan pattern, so working on that will be a bit easier. Yeah, and I should see you in a few weeks' time. Yeah, I already did some live stuff at the beginning, so we're enjoying the sunshine. Might get the paddling pool out this weekend. I took Bella to a splash park yesterday in Ipswich, which she absolutely loved. I took her there a couple of years ago, so it'd been a while since we'd been back. It's Father's Day in the UK tomorrow, so I have bought Stefan some Lego, and we're going to what looks like a lovely cafe in, I think it's Woodham Mortimer near Malden, called the Tin Roof Cafe. And they've got a lovely bakery counter at the beginning and a really nice brunch menu. So yeah, I'm hoping that Stefan will love that. And I think that's everything. So I'm going to go clean up the mess in this room, because I think Stefan and Bella will be back from Tesco pretty soon. So yeah, I hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope you get lots of stitching in over the next few weeks, and I will see you soon. Bye.